Oh, wow. Excuse me there. Maboheka ituno kina atiao no. Again, Dansi Bui. I love you. Yo, it's been a while since I come on here, but I decided just to do this little short podcast. I'm on my way to the laundromat. They're gonna deliver my clothes over there. Anyway, um, everybody's having a great day. It's pretty nice out here. It's chilly, so I got the little hat on. I got my jacket. It's getting a little chilly up here in North Carolina, and I love it. I love it because you can wear jackets. You know what I'm saying? And I love it. Feeling that little cold breeze. It's pretty nice for you. It gets into your bones. It chills your bones. It makes you feel alive. You know what I'm saying? So, excuse me. Wow, man. So, um, last time I went on live, I did it on Facebook. Now I'm going simultaneously through YouTube and Facebook, and we spoke about the sacral energy center. And I don't want to go too deep into that because on my way back up, then we really get really invested in that. Um, but now we're down to the root energy center, and again, what are we doing, my people? We're taking the awareness, consciousness, awareness, this ball of light, and we're shining it on natural nature in certain areas. Remember that these discussions, the dealing with these energy center, also deals with our natural abilities, our natural nature, the abilities we have to manifest things and to correlate and to have a relationship and to simply just live in nature. You know what I'm saying? It's our natural ability. And so with the sacral, we spoke about the enlightened self. Um, and I kind of forgot. I got them all charted in my brain, so I need to grab those charts. It is, let's see, um, renewal is going to be the root. When you deal with the alchemy system, I'm trying to go back and think on what was the so the sacral guild. Oh, transmutation. And we spoke about how transmuting, when you transmute something, you take, like, for instance, in alchemy and chemistry, is taking metals and making it to silver and gold. In terms of our natural nature, we take things around us and we transmute it. We change that negative force, that unfavorable conditions, and we make favorable conditions with it. And that happens in nature with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So we spoke about that, transmutation, and how sex can help with that, finance, can help with that. So now we're looking at the root energy center. And once again, when we shine that consciousness on it, it deals a lot with sustenance, currency, and the environment, sustainability, your environment. It deals a lot. And it casts a shadow of fear. Now, it's not to say that fear, remember, I don't prescribe to that whole evil, negative, good, that everything is just attributes of nature that we have the capability of involving ourselves with. So, for instance, fear can be a lesson to you. The fact, if you are able to accept it, accept your fears, and work with it so as to strengthen yourself, what I'm saying, with that sense of fear. For instance, the fear of not having a place to live, being out homeless, I said, should tempt you, should drive you to find a place if your energy centers are powered, to find a place of sustainability, to find the currency, the fear of not having enough sustenance or not having enough currency, so as money. That fear, if you face it and you deal with being secure and safe in your environment, in your food source and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it could be a lesson in that. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's part of the shadow self fear. And again, there are industries out here that do amplify that, that fear. Because when you deal with fear, well, as an acronym, what is it? False evidence appearing real is what they say. But fear is fright, and it stops. It either can make you stop on your track, or it could just make you fight back. You know what I'm saying? The fear. It's an adrenaline that's being emitted. So when you look at movies, horror movies, stuff like that, they know how to amplify these attributes of the shadow self. This is where their magic is at. The magic of Hollywood, the magic of movie making, the magic of music. They're able to take fears that people have, amplify in order to create their magic. You know what I'm saying? Their movie magic or the music magic. So it's used. You have to face your fears so that you can work with the light self, which is, security, um, being safe and secure. It's food, money, and shelter. You know what I'm saying? Now, the enlightenment self, remember, that's a light, that's the shadow. Now, let's deal with the enlightenment self. The enlightenment self, when you deal with the alchemy system, the enlightenment self, you're dealing with an attribute, you're dealing with a sense of renewal. To renew something means to rebirth, right? Like in nature, you know what I'm saying? Right now, the trees, the plants, and things are dying out, but then they rebirth themselves during the springtime. But now we have the power in us to renew. And we do that either by culture and knowing our tribe. And I'll get into that in a few seconds. Or maybe on the second half, we'll get more deep into that. But when you renew something, you make it new again. You rebirth, you reform it. This is a power that we have. And the power that we have in the root is that if you change, you have the ability to change this paradigm, to change this um, habitual acts, you know. And when you have the power to change the habitual acts, you renew yourself with food. You can renew yourself with currency, the washing things away. You can renew yourself with sustainability, which is environment, with your environment. You can renew yourself. This is a power that we have. You don't have to get stuck in the muck. You don't have to get, again, stuck in the muck. Renew, constantly have this attribute of renewing yourself. This is a time that I was hearing that, because of the alignment, constellation alignment, this is the time to take clutter. This is the time people should start getting rid of things that you don't use in the house. Get rid of that clutter, so that you can renew your energy. Because remember, our energy, this natural ability, is also being harnessed and is being manipulated by the constellation and those forces. Okay, that is powering in the sun, and then it powers our body. But we can go deep into that. Um, so, you know, I'm on my way up, but I'm speaking more on these energy center. I'm gonna look at the deities that involves in that, and because I'm dealing with the alchemists, the alchemy system, ancient Kemetic system, or modern Kemetic, because and it's still based on this ancient findings, you know what I'm saying, and pictographs and hieroglyphics that sort of like tells us a story. It's the guide that we have left behind, and also certain mouth to ear You know what I'm saying? Communication, and that helps a lot. So here I am communicating to you, letting you know that the root of it all, the root has a power to renew itself. That's the power in a tree. In its roots has the power to renew itself. If the root goes bad, if the root can don't have that power to renew itself, then that tree is going to be dead. It's not going to come back in spring or back to life. It's not going to be rebirth. So the root of it all is again the rebirth. Constantly stay on the reforming, constantly stay on that renewal vibe. Again, your vibe is your tribe. You know what I'm saying? Your tribal assets and also your culture. When we deal with culture, we deal with cultivating nature. So what you do when you cultivate nature, you sow it. You know, you sow what you reap. You sow it. You nurture nature at the same time. You renew the soil and on and on and on. Cultivating nature. Same thing with ourselves, our culture. You know, so it's the power to renew ourselves that we find. We find it in our culture and we find it in our tribe. You got to know your tribe. You got to know those that vibe like you becomes your tribe, you know. But, that's a lot of, you know, heavy thinking, you know what I'm saying? But the forefront of it all is harnessing that power within yourself to renew. It's based on this root energy center. So when you meditate and you start putting your awareness on it, look at the enlightenment power that it has to renew. The enlightenment beings, like for instance, Elijah Muhammad was an enlightened being because he was able to renew the black man in the city settings and renew them with food, how to eat, and business, and all of this plays a part in it. The renewing. Also, that's one of the first black-owned organization that was very powerful was Nation of Islam. Then you got the Ansar Allah community. The Ansar Allah community did the same thing under the guise of Al Mamisa, what we call Malachi New York today. You know, had the power to renew. He was enlightened. An enlightened being has the power to renew things. You know what I'm saying? But that's going into another area of how these powers you can harness and renew your family and renew everybody, your village, your community. That's another conversation. But the fact is that this power we all have to renew things. You don't have to get stuck in the mind. Remember, fear freezes you. It gets you stuck. So you have to face your fears and use that to gain power in what? In renewing, rebirthing, reforming yourself. You know, that's all for now. Um, Getting ready to go in here and kick it with my man for a little bit and then do my wash at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I like to come out and do that, meet people, it's my time, my social time, what they call, even though there's social distancing, which is oxymoron. How can you be a social person and distance yourself? That's not being very social. You know what I'm saying? So, um, you know, we're dealing with issues. We have issues. Things look like it's not going to get that good. And because the narrative is going to be like, we need to get this vaccine out here. We need to get that back with this vaccine. So what's going to happen is we need to create this chaos, this diversion, saying fear tactic. We need to we need to amplify that so that we can get people to act a certain way. You know what I'm saying? This is how this is being used at the root of it all. And remember, the root is connected to the crown, reciprocal, the crown. You know what I'm saying? So we'll speak more in depth about that. But anyway, have a great day. I'm having a wonderful experience, man. I'm having a wonderful experience, and there's so much more to do. Dang Sihi Bui means I love you. In Taino, Dang Sihi Bui. And also, take care of yourself. Peace.